your horizon. Vice President Shettima says federal government committed to improvement in ENT treatment. Plus, Russian delegation in Istanbul for Russia-Ukraine talks. We'll bring you details of these stories and more in a moment. For joining us. On the news at this hour, President Bola Tinubu has announced that contracts and procurement of goods and services valued below 5 billion naira will no longer require the approval of the Federal Executive Council. This was disclosed in a statement by the spokesperson of the Bureau of Public Procurement, BBP, Zira Nanga. The fresh procurement thresholds mean that ministries, departments and agencies will now have to adjudicate their procurement status to below 5 billion naira. The BPP also noted that international or national competitive bidding must procure goods valued at 1 billion naira and above and works valued at 5 billion naira and above. Meanwhile, President Tinubu will depart Abuja for Rome, Italy on Saturday at the invitation of Pope Leo XIV. In a statement, the special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, announced that President Tinubu will travel with senior Catholic leaders to attend a special mass marking the beginning of Pope Leo XIV's tenure as the 267th Bishop of Rome. According to Onanuga, Cardinal Pietro Parolin sent the invitation from Pope Leo XIV, who said the ceremony reflects a moment of particular importance for the Catholic Church and the world afflicted by many tensions and conflicts. The Pope also expressed a personal connection to Nigeria, stating that the great nation is particularly dear to him as he worked in the Apostolic Nunciature in Lagos during the 1980s. In the meantime, Vice President Kashim Shettima has restated the federal government's commitment to improving access to ear, nose and throat ENT healthcare services across Nigeria. He called for urgent action to upgrade Nigeria's healthcare infrastructure with a specific focus on ENT care to address the rising cases of hearing loss and shortage of specialized medical personnel in the field. The Vice President stated this when he received a delegation from the Othorinolaryngology Society of Nigeria, led by its president Aliyu Godiya, on a courtesy visit to the presidential villa in Abuja. Shettima told the team that President Bola Tinubu was determined to tackle key challenges in the ENT sector, including inadequate infrastructure, lack of equipment, and a growing wave of medical brain drain. The Vice President acknowledged the critical shortage of ENT specialists nationwide, saying there may be up to 500 ENT surgeons in the country if immediate action is not taken. Now to the red chambers, where the Nigerian Senate has vowed to introduce stiffer penalties for perpetrators of oil theft and terrorism activities in Nigeria. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio stated that the National Assembly cannot fold its hands watching economic sabotage and non-state actors carrying out heinous crimes against the country. He said the legislature would consider stiffer penalties for crude oil theft, including terrorism charges for major offenders. Senator Akpabio disclosed this while declaring open a 2-day public hearing on the incessant and nefarious act of crude oil theft in the Niger Delta and the actors at the Senate wing of the National Assembly. Now to the Green Chambers, where the House of Representatives Committee on Land Transport has invited the Managing Director of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Kade Okwefa, as well as the Managing Director of Railway Property Management Company Limited, Timothy Zanlaga, over the running of NRC and management of its assets across the country. The decision to invite Okwefa and Zalanga was sequel to the resolution of the committee after its meeting. Chairman of the House Committee on Land Transport, Blessing Ono, stated that the invitation of the Managing Director of NRC and the head of the subsidiary of the corporation, Railway Property Management Company, is not about witch hunting anyone, but it is aimed at ensuring that these government agencies live up to expectation. Meanwhile, some members of the committee during the meeting lamented the management of the assets of the NRC and the allegation of indiscriminate sales of the properties without due process. The committee therefore directed the management of NRC and Railway Property Management Company Limited to submit relevant documents regarding the 2022, 2023, 2024 budget performance, as well as assets of NRC and public-private partnership arrangements to the Secretariat on or before Tuesday, the 20th of May, 2025. Move down to Africa, where Gabon's former leader Ali Bongo Dimba and his family have been released from detention and arrived in Angola's capital, Luanda. The Angolan presidency said the release follows the initiatives made by the President of the Republic of Angola and President in Office of the African Union, João Lourenço, with President Brice Oligui Nguema of Gabon. Still in Africa, South Africa's Deputy President Paul Mashatile has urged white farmers, particularly Afrikaners, to remain in the country and work with the government to overcome challenges facing rural communities. His comments come in response to the departure of 49 white South Africans who were resettled in the United States as refugees this week under a policy initiative driven by President Donald Trump. Speaking at the National Maize Producers Organization show, Mashatile sought to reassure the farming community of the government's support. He emphasized that the government does not want Afrikaner farmers to leave the country, highlighting their essential role in agriculture and national development. On the foreign scene, the head of Russian delegation, Vladimir Minsky, has arrived in Istanbul for talks with the U.S. Recall that Turkey said peace talks between Russia and Ukraine will take place today in Istanbul, including a representative from the United States. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio arrived in the same city for talks with Turkish and Ukrainian officials after telling reporters yesterday that he did not have high expectations for today's negotiations. Zelensky had previously said he was sending his defense minister to the negotiations, but that Russia was not serious about real talks. Still on the foreign scene, Ukrainian Air Force says it has lost another one of its Western-supplied 16S, with the pilots reported to have ejected safely and rescued. The jet was said to have been repelling an air attack at the country and had already destroyed 3 aerial targets, engaging a 4th with cannon. Ukraine said overnight it had shot down 73 drones using a combination of aircraft and mobile fire groups, ground-based anti-aircraft artillery units on the ground. Reports the areas targeted included the east, north, south and center of the country. Still to come in the news. Messi reacts as Barcelona win La Liga title ahead of Real Madrid. Stay tuned for details of this and more in a moment. Thanks for staying tuned, and now we bring you the rest of the news at this hour. On our business news, the Bureau of Public Procurement has announced a comprehensive revision of public procurement thresholds for federal ministries, departments and agencies aimed at reducing bureaucratic delays and improving efficiency in contract awards. In a press statement by the head of public relations at the BPP, Zira Naga, the changes approved by President Bola Tinubu reflects Nigeria's current economic realities, including rising inflation and shifting market dynamics. Reports say the revised thresholds directly respond to rising inflation, shifting market dynamics, and the pressing need to reduce bureaucratic bottlenecks that impede timely contract awards and budget execution. Still in business, the National Bureau of Statistics has released its Consumer Price Index report for April 2025, revealing a slight easing in Nigeria's inflation rate compared to previous months and the same period last year. The headline inflation rate moderated to 23.71% year-on-year, marking a decline from 24.23% recorded in March 2025 and a sharp reduction from 33.69% in April 2024. On a month-on-month basis, the inflation rate dropped sharply to 1.86% in April 2025, down from 3.90% in March, indicating a slower rate of price increases across consumer goods and services during the month. On our health news, healthcare workers have warned that the continued migration of nurses from Nigeria is exacerbating the country's healthcare crisis, leading to increased waiting times, higher morbidity, and rising mortality rates. Their concerns follow a statement by the acting World Health Organization Regional Director for Africa, Dr. Chikwe Ihedwasu, who noted that 42% of nurses in Africa had expressed intentions to emigrate. According to the latest reports by the UK's Nursing and Midwifery Council, no fewer than 14,850 Nigerian trained nurses and midwives have been licensed to practice in the United Kingdom from 2017 to September 2024. Now to sports news, where former Barcelona captain Lionel Messi has congratulated his old club for winning the La Liga title this 2024-2025 season. The Inter Miami forward reposted a picture from Barcelona's official account celebrating the La Liga trophy on Instagram. Messi left Barcelona for Paris Saint-Germain in 2021 after his contract with the club expired. Reports that Barcelona secured the La Liga title this season for the 28th time in its history. Still in sport, a court in Rio de Janeiro has ordered the dismissal of Brazilian Football Federation ahead of Enaldo Rodrigues citing problems in his employment agreement. Rodriguez had already been temporarily suspended in 2023 after a court found irregularities with his 2022 election, but was reinstated on orders of a Supreme Court judge after FIFA threatened sanctions against Brazilian football. The judge ruled that an employment agreement between Rodriguez and the Brazilian Football Confederation was null and void. Meanwhile, FIFA and the South American Football Confederation, CONMEBOL, have refused to accept Rodriguez's 2023 ouster, warning the CBF it could be barred from international competitions if it allowed external interference in its affairs. On our entertainment news, Afrobeat superstar Davido has revealed an unexpected passion outside music, noting that he enjoys journalism. In a recent interview, the Afrobeat maestro spoke on the intensity of promoting his latest album, sharing his genuine interest in media rounds and conversations. Davido explained that while not all artists enjoy the spotlight beyond music, for him it is an extension of his craft. And that's all we have on the news at this hour. Do well to follow us on social media, engage on all of our conversations, all of which you can find at SpectrumTVLive.ng. This has been Spectrum Television News at Noon. I am Uyai MM. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon.
Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Broadening your horizon is what every living being not only genuinely desires, but heartily pursues and intentionally invests in. For in the gathering of men, only those whose minds are in tune with the dynamics of the past, present, and future innovations, inventions, politics, and governance are respected. We are Spectrum Television, and broadening your horizon is our obsession. Risk on your decoder now to connect Spectrum Television on the frequency 12589, symbol rate 26250. That is frequency 12589, symbol rate 26250. Polarization horizontal, and join our online community at SpectrumTVLive.ng. For further enquiries, please call 0704 158 5642 or 0704 541 7707. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
The depth of knowledge, fun, and entertainment you experience on Spectrum Television can never be overstated, especially when you get them all at once. At Spectrum Television, we start your day with insightful political and social discussion, a spotlight on Africa and the world's view. On well-being, we prioritize your health and mental space, staying fit and achieving goals. Stay updated with the business world, financial markets, and global economic analysis. We bring you all the latest from the world of sports and cutting-edge innovations, looking at the future of tech on Tech Insights, and stay updated with the latest in entertainment and music on Entertainment Now. Our carefully crafted content is designed to broaden your horizons and keep you informed and entertained. You won't want to miss a minute.
Shower you with all my attention.
Spectrum Television live on free-to-air. Scan your decoder to continue receiving the best of our signals or stream live at www.spectrumtvlive.ng. For more inquiries, call 0704 158 5642. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
Get ready for the exciting showdown, the biggest names, the toughest competition, and the most thrilling moments. From the gridiron to hardwood, and from the pitch to the track. Join us for Sports Central, the most electrifying sports program on television, every weekday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon on Spectrum Television. Sports Central.